Hey folks, it's Chris Carolyn with Metal Analysis Group. I'm here with my buddy Jordan Zaleski from Z-Check Corporation up in the Detroit, Michigan area. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm doing well, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So Jordan and I today just want to go over the idea of how to evaluate remotely a piece of NDT or PMI equipment via a Zoom video call like the one that we're on right now. Obviously, we've experienced some things lately that whether you're working from home now or you're stuck in the office or in the lab or wherever and you can't have visitors, obviously we got to maybe update the way we do things a little bit. Most of the businesses I know are still running when it comes to manufacturing and metals and equipment. So you're still using your equipment, still need maintenance, still got to do those capital purchases. So we're here to show you that it's still possible, even though we can't come and shake your hand. So that's what we're going to do, a quick overview today, and maybe give some tips at the end on how to get value out of calls like this. So just quick about me or about us. Metal Analysis Group. We provide metal testing equipment, services, training to the metals industry, all the way from scrap metal to foundries to inspection at refineries, stuff like that. So, Jordan, can you tell us a little bit about what you guys do up there?
Yeah, absolutely. Z-Check Corporation is a group, a company that services the Midwest area for inspection products, both non-destructive and destructive. We service all business sectors, but being based in Michigan, primarily we serve the automotive industry.
So basically, we're going to take turns showing off one of our products today, and so I'll get started with mine. One of ours. So we've got the Rigaku KT100S Libs analyzer, and it does metal identification using a laser that comes out of the front here. And basically, it burns the metal to be able to read the light coming back and identify the elements and the chemistry of the alloy. And based on that, it's going to match that information to a library of alloys and be able to tell you the difference between aluminum, stainless, coppers, stuff like that. So we've got a flip up touchscreen here, and then we've got some tactile buttons that I like a lot because a lot of our users have gloves on often, so you don't necessarily have to access the touchscreen when you're in order to use the analyzer. A lot of stuff is operated by the trigger itself as well. It comes with two lithium-ion batteries that are usually last about 8 to 10 hours, so definitely the whole shift. Slide it in there like that, and it's going to tell you how much charge it has too. It tells you on the screen too, on the touch screen. So I'm just going to hit this center button to turn it on, and while it turns on, it's going to be about 30 seconds. But so this is mil standard 810G certified IP54, so can take a beating. Was built for scrap yards and shop floors, so dust proof, rain proof, shock proof, all that good stuff. So a lot more durable and than what other things you might be used to on the market, which leads to no expensive repairs in the long run. So a lot faster, a lot safer, and a lot lower cost of maintenance for a device like this. Not a lot of expensive parts inside. So it's going to last you a while, and it's not going to, the cost of ownership isn't going to creep up on you. So this is our login screen. And we're going to log in with 144. And I'm doing that with the buttons down here. You can also use the touch screen. So when it comes up, we've got a laser safety warning here. All that's telling you is we've got a class 3B laser. And basically, don't shoot yourself in the eyes with the laser and you're going to be okay. So some states might suggest laser safety glasses, but usually as long as you had the training and you documented that, you don't even need to wear the glasses. So again, a lot safer than XRF because there's no radiation. So we're just going to pull the trigger to accept, and then we're going to test a sample here. So again, the laser's coming out here. We got a nice camera over here. Just put up the sample, pull the trigger one time. And then you can see here, we've got some aluminum 7075. We'll turn it around to the other side. Just press the trigger. Analyze again. And there we've got some stainless steel 316. So pretty quick. And all it's doing is, if you can see those little marks there we go. Those little kind of fingernail scratches are what the laser's doing to the surface. So depending on the metal, doesn't go more than microns deep. Most metals you can buff it off. It's still considered a non-destructive testing technique.
My understanding, Chris, is that even though you can see a small mark on the surface, you're not truly changing the microstructure or the structure of the material around that mark.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's one of our common questions is does it change the mechanical integrity of the metal? And in 99.9% of cases, it does not. So still considered a non-destructive technique. For example, I mean, I can shoot my hand and you don't feel anything.
So the laser's low energy enough that, maybe on some softer, very soft materials, you might have the ability to slightly change, the microstructure of the area that you're shooting. But for the majority of materials, the majority of metals that you're testing, like you said, 99% of the materials that you're testing, it's not really something to consider. It's not really an issue. It's not going to happen.
Right.
The energy of the laser itself is just too low to really do anything to the part itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, and then as we look at the results, this does have some connectivity. You can either connect via Wi-Fi or with the USB to the computer. And
one of the big things with using these tools is being able to store data and transfer data. So you can provide that to your supervisors or your managers, show them what you did that day. Explain any decisions that had to be made in the field because of what was found.
Right. Yep. Data management. And the cool thing about this analyzer is you don't have to download any software. There's no special applications you need to use. So what it's doing is it has a specific IP address the analyzer does. So all you have to do is either connect via USB or Wi-Fi, and you pull up, you type the IP address into the browser bar of your choice. And since you're using a browser, you can obviously do this on mobile devices as well. So even there's no apps or no software to download. So we'll just log in here. And you can see the results that I was just taking. And we pull up one of these, and there you can see the data from the shot. If you were to take pictures, you'd also see those here as well. And then you can create PDF reports. This is where you manage your grade libraries, you can configure your data entry, you can require it if you need to. And then for service, one real cool thing is we can walk you through sending this reachback package, which basically downloads a file from the device, and you send it to us via email, and we can look at all the data, the intensities, diagnose the problem, and then if there truly is something we need to fix, then you send it back and we give you a free loaner. But sometimes we're able to just do some minor adjustments on our end and then send you back the file and upload or reinstall, and then you're good to go. So we've had a lot of good feedback on how easy it is to kind of maintain and not have to keep sending it back and forth. All that first step process is free of charge, so we're not going to charge you to look at it from afar. So something pretty cool that we work with Rigaku together on that. So based out of manufactured just north of Boston, we're based in Houston, and we've got units in both places, and we're building more regional support centers around the country. So you know how important that downtime can be to avoid. So that's our goal too, is to keep you guys up and running. So with that, it's kind of just a quick review of the product. Obviously a demo could be anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the needs of who we're talking to. And we're happy to do that via video. And for now, I'll let Jordan go and show us what he's got.
All right. Thanks, Chris. So as Chris had mentioned, the whole point of this video is really to show, you know, how information can be relayed, you know, through these available services like Zoom, like right now, even as simple as FaceTime on your iPhones or your smartphones. You know, but as Chris said, the whole point of this is just to show how easy it is. You know, obviously you don't have the ability to hold the system in your hand, but you know, we can get the majority of the information across. You know, and we could take this as far as, you know, if a specific customer is to send us samples either to you, Chris, or to me, we have the ability to do something like this and literally be able to test the customer samples via video right in front of them and discuss the results that we're seeing, discuss maybe the setup of the instrument that was required to get those results. You know, kind of the point of this is to show how much information really can be conveyed through video. You know, where you can't necessarily easily, especially in this time, or quickly get face-to-face with somebody. This is a good way of, you know, starting the process. Like Chris had said, I wanted to show a product, you know, just to show how easy this can be, you know, to get a good discussion going relative to a specific product or a specific application. The products that I'm going to show are from a manufacturer that we represent here in the Midwest, Waygate Technologies, formerly GE Inspection Technologies. And I'm going to show their conventional ultrasonic flaw detection family of products. I'm going to focus in on the product that kind of fits in the middle of the portfolio of products. But just to show you, the family as it stands currently, they offer the USN 60, which is a very familiar product to anybody that's done conventional ultrasonic flaw detection for some time. There have been many models within the USN family. So the model that I just showed was the USN 60. Before that, there was the USN 58. Before that, there was the USN 52. And that's going beyond me, but I believe there are some products prior to even the 52. The next instrument in the family, kind of the mid-sized product in the family, more of a benchtop general purpose inspection solution, is the USM 36. And I'm going to come back to this one in a minute. This is the one we'll dive a little bit deeper on. And then the third product in the family is more of their handheld, highly portable system, the USM Go. A lot of people are very familiar with this, especially the people that are needing a highly portable instrument for rope access work, or for field inspections where you're needing to get into confined areas. You don't want a big bulky instrument maybe hanging from your shoulders. People are very familiar with this instrument. And the nice thing is that if you're familiar with this instrument, and maybe your company does have one of these currently for field inspections, but you'd like something maybe a little bit bigger when you're doing in-house benchtop inspections, the menu structure and software that's on this system is the exact same menu structure software package that's available on the 36. So point being, if you know how to run this system, you know how to run the 36 as well. So with the 36, it's a conventional ultrasonic flaw detector. Has the ability to do all your traditional sizing techniques, AWS, DAC, TCG curves, offers back wall echo attenuator features, third gate options, square wave pulsar. So it's a very capable system. Just from a package perspective, there's a rest, so you can kind of set how you'd like to use this unit. And even, if you do want to take this into the field, this handle helps to kind of hold the unit the way that you'd like in the field. It has the rotary knobs for adjustments and moving within the menus on both sides. And anybody that's familiar with a GE Kraut-Kramer ultrasonic system, which is a large number of people, anybody that's used the USN platform of product is very familiar with those dials to adjust instrument settings and go between the menus. So it was nice to see when they did release this product that they kind of brought that along, because it's something that people tie to the Kraut Kramer brand, which has been known as a very good brand in the industry for a very, very long time. I won't dive too deep because that's really not the point of this video, but essentially you have a series of keys along the bottom of the unit here to access different menus. If you press and hold this home button, you can actually access a background menu where you can make some adjustments, where you can save videos of inspections that you're doing, or you can save screenshots, files for different setups. You can configure where you want to save test data and information to. And essentially there's an 8 gigabyte internal memory. But you also have the ability to, on the top of this unit, there is a door. And if you open that door, there's actually a slot for an SD card that you can pop in there as well. So really storage becomes kind of unlimited at that point. So you have an 8 gigabyte internal memory, and then you have the ability to put SD cards, I believe up to 16 gig SD cards, which is really more than enough storage for what most people need. The unit works a lot like your smartphones these days, where there's a USB-B connector on the top of the unit here as well when you open up the door. And if you plug in a cable here and take it into your computer, the instrument acts like a smartphone. You don't need any special software to access the information. It just pops up as an external hard drive, essentially. And all the data, videos, screenshots, information that you've stored, project files are all immediately available. There's also a IO connection in here. There's a VGA out connection, and the third connection is for power. One of the great things about this unit is its battery life, 13 hours, which is that's about as good as you can get from these portable devices.
What is the industry used to seeing as far as battery life goes?
I would say the industry is used to seeing, it depends on how new the instrument is,
right?
But anywhere from maybe 4 to 6 hours.
Oh wow!
If you're lucky, you have an instrument that might run for 8 hours. So okay. 13's quite a bit when you compare it to other instruments that are out in the market today.
Taking care of those 12-hour guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's the product. I mean, if you really even wanted more battery life, you have the ability to take the battery out and have spare batteries if you really wanted to. If you're running 4 hours a day and didn't have the ability to plug into AC power.
Right.
So yeah, that's the system in kind of just a quick overview of the system that I wanted to show. And how did I do, Chris?
That's great. Definitely appreciate sharing that and kind of showing what's possible. I know during like the full scale demos, you can get out pieces of metal and start and do some actual testing and stuff like that. So really, I think we can get 95% of the way there. Like we said, can't shake hands, can't touch the product, but especially for people that are familiar with devices that might not be needed, you can always send us samples. So I just want to end on kind of some tips. Obviously, we're a little more familiar with these products, so it might not be, I didn't want to script a bunch of questions or anything like that, but as you make time for these video calls with distributors or manufacturers, I know it's different, but try not to treat it any differently than if this was in person. So make sure you ask questions. Um, ask all the questions and maybe prepare some ahead of time. Usually, I know I'll try to um, get you to think about some questions before we meet. It's helpful to have the video on both sides. We know that can be um, maybe unnatural for some people at the beginning, but you get used to it real quick, and that helps with the connectivity uh, of the situation. To try and get as close to that handshake as we can. So it's helpful to have both people on video if you can, and um, especially if there's kind of web interfaces or software, it can actually be a little easier to show on these calls. Like I was able to share the web page pretty quickly. So um, dive deeper into that kind of stuff if you can. Looking at data management or software, it's easier for us to share resources too, that we can dig deeper into instead of the yeah, we got some stuff to show you. I can email you after. Well, we can share it real time here with files or links that we can look at together oftentimes. So just kind of open the mind about what you normally expect out of a demo, um, and ask all those questions. That's what we're here for. That's why we're making the time. So, you have anything to add to that, Jordan?
Not not really. I think that you hit the main points. Maybe the one thing that I would add is, given that we've done this video, we're open to discussions just like this with customers. So if there's a specific product that you have some questions on, that you want to get a demonstration on, reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to set up one of these calls and go through the product, go through your application with you, um, discuss, maybe there's more than one product that could solve the application. So, I think this is a really effective way of, um, kind of, doing two things really, I guess, start kicking off a project or kicking off a new discussion, but also closing a discussion. So, yeah, I think that's the only other thing I wanted to add is that, we're open to these, and if it's something that you want to set up, just let us know.
Yep. And we'll have, wherever you may be watching this, we'll have the contact details either in the in the description below, or the post, or maybe at the end of the video. So yeah, and we're here to help. So don't be afraid to reach out to either Metal Analysis Group or Z-Check Corp up in Michigan. And thanks again, Jordan, for making some time for this today. And we'll talk to everybody soon.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chris.